So now we have our game with Gurevich. Again, beauty price. Again, you'll see.
Okay, let's see
D4,
it.
C4, D6. Knight F3, Bishop F5. You see, I played myself with Bishop F5, like Frankel, but it's different here because it's not possible to play Zemish anymore. So he played Knight F3. Knight F3 is something else. Okay, it's normal line, but it's
not gems.
It's not clear who is better.
Okay.
So it's move by move again. Okay, so C6, Knight C3, E5. And after E5, he played here Knight H4. Now, if you played the normal move Bishop G6, white is a little bit better. After Knight Bishop G6. But here, we can transpose. We can try something else, and we can try to show that black has enough counterplay in any position. So I took in D4, and he accepted the challenge, and he took in F5, thinking that he's better in any endgame. But he has no time for endgame. This is the problem. You see why? Instead of Knight takes F5, the normal move was to take with the queen. Very complicated game, but okay, black is more or less all right. But after Knight takes F5, I took in C3, and he played B3. Well, instead of B3, the idea was to play, instead of B3, Knight takes D6. If we can show it also. If Knight takes D6, black has no problem at all. I mean, black is better in any position. For instance, Bishop takes, Queen takes, and now if black wants to show that everything is all right, he can play here.
Queen?
No, it's not necessary. You can play Knight B6, for instance. Knight B6 or Bishop takes, or even C takes,
B2?
Yeah, Bishop takes B2, I mean takes in B2, and now you can play Knight B6 immediately, or even better, Queen A5 check. And after Queen A5 check, he's forced to play Queen D2, because if he doesn't play Queen B2, D2 is much better for black, after long castle.
After long castle.
Yeah, so after Queen D2, you can take in D2 and Knight B6, much better for black in any position, Because we attack the pawn from C4 and we want to castle with check, and it's enough. Black has a very strong initiative in any position, is clearly better.
Yes.
Okay, so he tried something else, trying to come into an endgame by having a good pawn structure,
Yes.
But like this, by playing B3, we have still the pawn from C3, the pawn is still there, and that will be decisive for later on.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll see. Very, very nice, you see. Queen C7. Okay, now we don't give the pawn from D6. Castle and G6. Okay, now we have a King's Indian. But we have our pawn in C3. You see, it's not clear. It's clearly better for black, I mean, you see, because of this.
It can be defended by...
No, it's decisive, because until the end of the game, we don't agree to give back the pawn from C3. You see? We'll see. Very tactical game. Okay, Bishop A3. Okay, Knight C5, of course. B4. He tries to open a little bit. Knight E6. He played Rook C1. Knight D7. Okay, we don't give the pawn.
Defend up.
And he tries to open. And Knight B5. And now look, he tries to open the game, and we agree to open. I mean, we play C5, giving him the square D5. I mean, it seems that if white has the possibility to play Knight D5, is okay. But after Knight D5, Queen A5, black is winning. So he tries to control the position on the queen side with Queen A4. But now comes another surprise.
Yeah, why is winning here?
But after Knight D5, Queen A5, what does he play?
Because it's no...
We want to take the bishop.
Yeah, true.
You see, and if he plays, for instance, Knight D5, Queen A5, Queen B3, no?
Yes.
After Queen B3, after Knight D4, he resigns in one move. He has no time to take in D3 because he loses the queen with check. Queen C3, Knight takes E2 check, and he's losing the queen. Knight E2 check.
Yeah.
Finish. In one move.
Yes.
Yeah. So of course it's move by move. Very unpleasant for white, but from now on, he's in big trouble from here, Yeah. So queen a4, knight b6. Okay, we control the square d5. And now after queen a5 forced, we open completely the game on the other side with a6. Now he can't take in a6 because he loses everything, After, So now, from now on, is move by move trying to save somehow the game, somehow. So rook takes c3, he agrees to give the exchange, to do something only to escape, Okay, rook takes c3, but we don't take the exchange. Knight d4, initiative, very strong initiative. So now what to do? Rook e2, d3, the only move. Now castle. First of all,
put the king.
We have the king in a safe position, and we continue with our idea. Of course, in any position, black could win the exchange. We could win some material, but it's not enough to win. I wanted to do more. To have such a fantastic position is very, very rare that in King's Indian you have such a position immediately after the opening. Such a big initiative. You can win in any case,
beautiful.
Everywhere. You see?
Yeah, beautiful position.
Yeah, but very nice. Knight d4 is fantastic. Knight in d4 is, like an elephant, let's say, controls everything. So from now on, he tries to save the game, but it's too late. See? He didn't lose anything for the moment.
Yeah.
But he's completely lost in this position. What to do? Rook b1. Okay. And after rook b1, we come into play with all our pieces. Queen d7. First of all, we try maybe to take the pawn in b5, but it's only a small threat. We don't take immediately a pawn. It's too little to take the pawn, So in reality, we want much more than this. So bishop c1, rook a4. Okay. So now again, a3. He didn't lose anything for the moment. And from this position, we start the tactical play. Very, very beautiful. c4. Everything will be forced. Now, if he takes in d4, he loses immediately with c3. Rook takes d4, c3, wins at least the exchange, and the position is completely destroyed,
Yes.
So, what to do?
He took,
of course, c3. Okay, queen d3. Now, okay, we took in d4. Queen c2. Of course, he couldn't take in c3 because he was losing the queen with rook d1 check.
With the check here,
yeah.
Sorry.
So, okay. Knight c4, rook b3. Now, okay, we have exchange up here. Exchange up. But we agreed to give back the exchange to have a fantastic attacking position later on. Okay, we win anyway. By playing anything, it's winning for black. But the way we played, it's the most decisive and the most beautiful one, you see. So now we took back in e3. So now you see the big difference. Rook d2, queen, back in c1, I think he played, no?
Yes.
And now you see, the bishop from g2 is doing nothing. He controls the diagonal, but instead, the bishop from g7 is a real force. Winning in any position, in attack, in positional play, everything is winning for black because we still have the pawn from c3. If we come to an endgame, is winning, but we don't come to an endgame because we have a winning position before that, in middle game. So now we have to realize, and the next part of the game will be very beautiful, you see. All right. Big time trouble again for both, for him and for me, but white is completely lost in any position. So now queen c5. So, okay. The only move, bishop f3, a small hope to save the game. Of course, he is lost, but you have to win a completely winning position in very big time trouble, for both. All right, so d5. The best move and the simple one, d5.
It's like a waiting move, right? Or
no, not a waiting move. We could take immediately in e3, but maybe this is even better because we're threatening many things with d5. You'll see later on. This move is the beginning of the end, you see, d5. Everything forced. And now, after king f2, h5, again, we give him the move, what to do.
Yeah.
has no moves at all. I mean, the position is terrible for white, you see. So rook b4 has to wait. And now, the second surprise, bishop h6. Move by move, you see. Now we're starting the final attack with bishop h6. We come into play with our bishop or our queen in h3, and that is
Too
terrible,
much.
you know, too much. So now look at the position, terrible position for white, no? So now king g2. Now here we could win the queen with rook takes e3.
Check,
e2
yes.
check, we win the queen.
Yes.
But we played something else. I mean, it wasn't enough. I mean, we want to give mate, you know. So d4. So king h3, terrible. He has no moves, you see. King h3. d3, look at the position. What to do? He can't take in d3 because he's mate in f5. Or he loses every piece, you know.
Oh, it's mate here.
Yeah, I mean, terrible position. We can even lose the queen. Rook takes h2 check and bishop takes c1. Terrible. So, okay, he continued to play because he was still in very big time trouble. But he
was hoping
anyway, you know. So
for a
c2,
blunder.
yeah. So c2, queen b3, c1, queen.
Wow.
No, rook e4. Okay, he didn't resign immediately because he was doing, you know, the best moves, the best way to do it, you know, until the end, to continue a little bit, you know. So now it's mate on the table. So queen f1 check there and queen g5 mate.
Yeah.
But the game was really very beautiful in all parts of the game, you see. Attacking chance in the opening. Later on, we have something more in the middle game. Much more in the middle game. Decisive position in the middle game.
And mate on
and
the
mate
board.
at the end, you know, on the board.
Yeah.
Against a very strong grandmaster, you know. I mean, if you remember, Gurevich was the strong grandmaster that I had to win against in the U.S. Open to win my third U.S. Open in a row. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes.
So beautiful game also there, you know. But this was a disaster, you know. Can you? Yeah. So imagine
For him
to lose in such a way with white, you know.
Nice.
Yeah. It happens in King's Indian and Sicilian. Everything is possible, always.
For black especially.
For black especially,
Yeah.
yes. And we have a very nice example here. So,
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mr. Gheorghiu.
you're welcome.